Listen to this, guys. Did you know this, Haridopolos? Marjorie Taylor Greene, Dusty tells me, just announced she's resigning at the turn of the year. January 5th. You guys are both surprised. So am I.
That's news to me.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
What do you think that's about? Dusty, do we know why? What is she saying? Is she running? Is she changing parties? What is she saying? Why is she doing it? All right, they're watching her video. She just released one. Interesting timing. Why announce that now? What do you know about her, Haridopolos?
Well, I'm not really sure. As you know, though, there's been a break with the president over the last few weeks about a few different issues. But I think when getting into the issue, what you care about most, I think, is affordability. I think that one of the things we can come together on is simple things like income verification. If a person's getting a subsidy, meaning tax dollars from another taxpayer, we should make sure they're actually eligible for the program, whether it be for Medicaid, whether it be for food stamps, whether it be for health care subsidies.
That's not the big
Let's
slice.
make sure that's a starting point.
Yeah, but
it's
no, Chris.
I've got to correct you here.
The big slice is to go after.
Let me give you one example. Thank you. So they went through the numbers. 1/3 of the people who were on Obamacare last year did not use Obamacare at all. Not to see the doctor, not for a script, for a vaccine, anything. That means a lot of people are having a situation where the insurance. No. The average in the private sector is around 10%. What we want to do, again, we're not asking to penalize people. We want to help people who are truly in need. But there is fraud within the system. And one of the simplest ways we did in Florida is income verification. And that's a first way to start.
I know, you can do income verification.
You want to have a wall before you reform immigration.
Yeah, but you didn't get a wall, right? What you did was you took advantage of the Democrats having a lapse policy. We were never a wall away from safety. And that is not how you fix health care in this country. The biggest slice of the population
Chris,
you're talking about, they don't file claims because they're healthy. They don't file claims because they're healthy, not because they're phantoms.
I want you to go back. Chris, I want you to go back to 2012. The key component, my wife's a primary care doctor. It's very passionate in Florida and why it's important. They said that the key was having primary care. We wanted you to go to see a primary care doctor so you didn't run into a big expense at the emergency room. That's why it's so important. If you're on Obamacare, you go to see your doctor. You need to really push that agenda out because when you do that, it really makes the program work. Obamacare's basic premise was that. So we want to push that idea. And then beyond that, we also want to make sure that everybody benefits. There's 165 million people I'm also worried about, not just those in Obamacare, because their rates are going up as well. So I'm looking forward to working with Democrats. You've seen Katie Britt and others talk about solutions. We're at the table talking about it as we speak.
Look, Mike, I'm happy to hear it. I like the new you, right? Because you guys couldn't get anything done. That's why the government got shut down. Now, Suhas, here's the interesting aspect. Picking apart arguments for why things haven't gotten done is pretty easy. All right? The real story of the ACA is that the right has never wanted to work on it. They wanted to remove it. They just don't have any other plan. And now you need a plan. So there's an opportunity. Her resigning, I don't understand what that means. I think she's become much more of a player, MTG, rhetorically, than she is in terms of actually being relevant for policy. But within the Democrats, do you believe there's a real appetite for passing legislation that would technically be a win for Trump because he's in power and in the majority if it lowers costs for health care for the majority of Americans?
Well, first of all, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've passed bipartisan legislation all the time, even in this Congress. And so if it's a win for the American people, yeah, we've passed many pieces of legislation, 435 to 0. But I'll just say, just because it's, I want the American people to win in all of this. So the American people, I think, do win when we work together and are bipartisan. I want to say on Marjorie Taylor Greene, though, that I'm not surprised. I've seen a lot of Republicans showing up to Democratic Party meetings lately. There's a lot of people on the right, and including the far right, that are fed up with this president and his failed promises. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is clearly one of them. And so I'm not surprised that she's resigning because I think she's realizing and feeling like she's been betrayed on so many issues at this point. But yeah, I would love to work with Republicans on lowering costs and in a bipartisan way. But I haven't seen a healthcare plan that would actually do that. Nor the ones that I do see are basically taking away healthcare. So yes, having no healthcare costs nothing, or having very little healthcare that has a bias against pre-existing conditions, like we did before the Affordable Care Act, like that's not a good plan, and that's what people rejected in the past, and that's why the Affordable Care Act is still very popular.
Let's see what you guys can do. I'm hearing more people talk about wanting to see some action. Let's see it. MTG says this. She's leaving because she's sick of the inaction of the two parties and the constant division, and she wants to spend more time with her family, and she doesn't want to be considered a battered wife. I don't know what that means exactly, but I don't think it means what it literally suggests. So we'll see what this means. This is weird timing for her to do this, and it's weird for your party, especially given the margins in the House, but we'll see what it means. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.